What's up guys, today we're going to be reviewing the Galaxy A20s, and I really enjoy using this phone. This is the blue version, so let's go ahead and go over the hardware with this phone. So as you can see, it is a plastic design, but it still feels really good, has a really nice weight to it. As you can see, the colors kind of shift right here, which I really love. So as you can see, it's kind of a little pattern right here. You have the fingerprint scanner on the back, a triple camera setup with LED flash, which we will get into. On the side, you do have a power button, volume rockers on the side. You've also got USB Type-C, the headphone jack, and one single 5-inch speaker. So let's go ahead and start off with the display. So you have a 6.5-inch water drop notch display, and it's really big. This is the OnePlus 7 Pro, a 6.7-inch display, which is also a really big phone. And I just love that this has a massive screen on it. So it is an IPS display, 720 by 1560, so 720p, 264 for the PPI. It looks really good and it gives off some really nice colors. Now I think one of the highlights with this phone is definitely media consumption. Like I said, that big display on here is very nice, and the water drop notch is not really distracting. You have kind of big bezels down here, but overall I was pretty satisfied with the quality of the panel and just watching videos on here. Now I've been using the speakers and comparing it to other smartphones, and they sound pretty good. They're on par with what you would get at the $200 price point, and they sound pretty good. So if you watch a lot of videos on your phone, like I said, the screen and the speakers are pretty good. So you're running Android 9.0 with the Snapdragon 450 processor with the Adreno 506 GPU. You also have 32 gigabytes of storage and 3 gigabytes of RAM, which is really nice. And you have micro SD support up to 1 terabyte, so you can have plenty of storage on this guy, which I really love. So far, using the OS, scrolling and stuff, this phone has not slowed down yet at all. It's very snappy, very fast, and I haven't had any problems. Now you do have a couple of features you can mess with this phone, like the navigation bar. We can go in here and we can use the gesture navigation bar, which I really don't like, so I'll just show you what it looks like. You can take it from gesture to button. You can just go ahead and like swipe. So if I go to full screen gestures, and you can see it goes ahead and changes it for me. Now I'm not a big fan of it. You might like it, but I don't know, I just haven't. It's hard for me to get used to. Now we also have some gestures on here, like the one-handed mode. If I hit the home button 3 times, it'll go ahead and shrink the screen, so if the phone is too big for you, that's really nice to have. We have the fingerprint sensor, so if I want to get to the notification, I just swipe down from the fingerprint sensor on the back, and it'll go ahead and break it down for me, which I really love. So even though this is a big phone, you don't have to worry about that. You also have the screenshot, which is very easy. Just hold the power volume down, and then we get our little screenshot editor, and we can go ahead and mess with that. Now we also have the pop-up window, so if I hold down like this and then I go to open pop-up view, it'll go ahead and make a little mini window of Chrome, and then I can go ahead and browse other stuff. Open the Google Play Store. I can minus it, or I can transparency on it, or I can go ahead and minus it, so it shows a little icon that floats. Go ahead and bring it back up. So I really love this little feature with Samsung phones. Now gaming on this phone is pretty good. I did a whole gaming video, so if you want to see that gameplay more in depth, be sure to check that out. But now you're not going to be playing on high with most games. So for games like PUBG and Call of Duty, they play great. You're just going to be playing on lower settings, but they still looked good and ran fine. I was able to get kills, no problem. So I love the big display on here, and gaming is definitely a plus. Now let's go ahead and talk about the cameras real quick. So you have a 13 megapixel wide and 8 megapixel ultra wide and a 5 megapixel depth sensor on top of a 8 megapixel selfie camera. The cameras do shoot in 1080p, and the camera quality was pretty decent. I'm sure if we get Gcam on this, it'll be even better, but it was pretty decent. It wasn't anything too crazy. It took some really nice wide angle shots. It took some really very colorful photos, as you can see, and some of it was color accurate and some of it kind of washed out colors a little bit. It just really depends on your lighting situation, but it does pretty good in good lighting situations. In low light situations, it does okay. Now another highlight with this phone is the 4000 milliamp battery with 15-watt fast charging. So this phone charges pretty fast, and also the battery life from what I'm getting lasts about 1 to 2 days. If you're a light user, you can probably get even more out of it. So I just really like the battery life on here. You should get about 7 to 8 hours of screen on time. Like I said, a little bit more if you're a very light user. Now, as far as the fingerprint scanner and getting into the device, you have two options. You can use the face unlock, which works pretty fast, and you can use the fingerprint scanner, which also works very fast. So overall, I really like the Galaxy A20s. It's a really good smartphone. Are there better options? Yes, but if you're a Samsung fan, you definitely would be satisfied with this. Like I said, this has a really big display for its price point, which I really love. So thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.